Hi, this is Sophie. Today is July 5. It's one day after the Independence Day holiday. This year, we really had a very unusual Independence holiday. Probably most of you stayed at home and celebrate this holiday. And also San Jose, I noticed that they actually canceled the fireworks ceremony for the Independence Day celebration. So I want to take this opportunity to share with you the most recent data in the real estate market in Silicon Valley and share with you some positive news in the real estate market side. Before I start to dive into the June real estate market update, I want to give you a high-level update of what happens in our economy. So GDP decreased by about 5% in first quarter of 2020. On the other hand, the retail sales bounced quite a lot. It bounced by about 18% compared with in April, even though the number is still lower than 8% in February before the pandemic. Unemployment rate data is pretty good as well. It's actually, even though it's still at 11.1%, it's better than a lot of economists' expectation. It actually exceeded the 3 million payroll additions expected by most of the economists. Another important index you want to look at is the consumer confidence index. It's actually at 98.1, higher than 85.9 in May. And this index was actually below 50% during the biggest recession back in 2008-2010. So that is really tell you most of the consumer has higher confidence right now compared with back in May timeframe. Another important place to look at is the stock market performance. It has big impact for people here, especially in Silicon Valley, because most of their assets and also a lot of their income all depends upon the performance of the stock market. So overall, stock market in June performed okay. It stays positive, grow a little bit. However, it's not as much as in April and May. April and May had a big rally. In June, S&P index finished June up by about 1.8%, Dow Jones up by 1.7%, and Nasdaq Composite over by 6%. It's because overall high-tech sector is performing better. That is a good news for people here in Silicon Valley. Now let's look at real estate market. The big number in real estate market is the pending sales. Pending sales surged very, very big. It's sold in May compared with in April. Overall in California, it surged by about 67%, even though it's still 5.5% lower than May last year, but compared with April, it's really a quite significant increase in overall California, the state of California. Pending sale number in Santa Clara County, San Mateo County also went up quite significantly in June. Now, pending sale is a very important data because it's a leading indicator, tell you how it's going to be, final sales, it's going to be in July. So let's look at Santa Clara County total houses in contract as well as the total houses in sold status. The red bar shows you those are in contract, including the houses that in contract with contingency as well as without contingency. There are about a total 19 units in contract in June. The number is much higher compared with May. In May, the number is 1125, and also much higher compared with number in April, 601. The number for total transaction that is closed, it's sold houses in June is also pretty good. That is 1150 units sold. It's compared with the number compared with 67 4 unit in May is a significant increase, and that number was back in April was about 803. So overall, you can see more people coming to the market and getting into contract, and also more deals are getting closed in June in Santa Clara County. The same trend shows in San Mateo County as well. In San Mateo County, total houses in contract in June is 586. That is higher compared with 403 in May, and total houses that's closed, the deal that's closed in June was 432 and compared with 299 in May in San Mateo County. So next data you want to look at is the new listings versus sold. New listings tell you how many new houses, new listings coming to the market, and it tells you the seller side of the story. The seller, if you're more comfortable, it tends to have more seller put their house on the market. So in June, total new listings in Santa Clara County is 1546 units, which is higher than 1489 in May and much higher compared with the April number 1022 units. And April is actually the lowest over the past few months because we are in the middle of shelter in place at that time. So the San Mateo County see the same increase for the total new listings in June. The number is 706 compared with 573 in May, and again much higher compared with 396 back in April. While you see more seller put houses on the market and more people get into transactions, let's look at what is the pricing. Overall, Santa Clara County median sale price in June is at 1.2 million. That is slightly lower compared with May. In May, the number is 1.23, and in April, the number is 1.218. So the number for sale price, which is a median sale price, of course, your houses will sold much higher, your houses sold lower, but that is the middle point, give you some trend that you can compare. So 1.2 million is the medium sale price in Santa Clara County in June. Overall, holding still pretty well, given what we've been through over the past few months. So the San Mateo County median sale price in June is 1.534. It's also slightly lower compared with a month ago in May. In May, the number is 1.543. And overall, the May and June number are much higher compared with April. As you can see, the April number is only 1.378. And surprisingly, these numbers are even higher than in January and in February, which is really before pandemic. So that gives you some idea that not only people come back to buy houses, and probably because of shortage of inventory, you can see the pricing actually in San Mateo going higher for the medium sale price. The next ratio we look quite often at the sale price to list price ratio. Now, median sale price give you a point of reference. On the other hand, sale price and listing price tell you overall sentiment about how much buyer is willing to pay compared with the seller's asking price. So in June, Santa Clara County, the sale price to listing price ratio is about right there, is 100.5%, which means the sale price, the buyer put slightly higher than seller's listing price overall. And that number is slightly higher compared with May, which is about 103%. And those numbers are way higher back in February, March, and April. Same as we can see in San Mateo County. In San Mateo County, the June sale price versus list price ratio is about 100.7%, higher, better than May, and lower compared with February, March, and April numbers. So overall, the market in June is holding pretty well. One of the major reasons is because people save quite a lot in mortgage payment. The number shows that mortgage payment in May 2020 in Bay Area is about $3,350, and that was a significant saving compared with same period last year. Same period last year, it's about $3,800. The main reason is because the interest rate are just so low. It's really historical low. 30-year fixed rate, we are seeing 3% to 3.125% for purchase loan. That is for jumbo loan. If your loan amount is less than 510, which is the lower category of the conforming loan, we actually get 30-year fixed rate for about 2.7%, 2.875%. Is really, really good. I've never seen such a low 30-year fixed rate. So overall, inventory is still getting tightened up because you see the pent-up demand. Those demand because usually spring, January, February, March, April should be a high demand season, but because of the pandemic, on March and April you see less people buying, and those pent-up demand start to increase. Showing activity also picked up in June. More people go out to show houses on a weekly basis. Just want to explain to you a few more here. A lot of people ask me, how are we going to go out to see houses? There are no open house anymore. However, we can still book showing by appointment. So every time we cannot book more than one group, which means one agent plus a group of buyers from the same family when we book showings. And when you go out to see houses, always remember you need to wear a mask, wear a glove, and when you go to the house, wear shoe cover and keep social distance. And a lot of times when you go the listings, you will see the sanitizer provided by the listing agent to all the people going to see the house. So when we are adapting to the new norm of showing, more and more buyers come to see houses in May and in June. A mortgage purchase application increased quite a lot in June. It's increased by double digit compared with the same period last year. It's just mainly because the rates are so low right now. Now, the interesting thing to notice is when you look deep into different type of houses, you notice that single family house that has very good floor plan in good school district or in good neighborhoods sold really fast because there are really not that many on the market, and a lot of them sold with multiple offers. There are still houses stay on the market are those that's either have some major issue like next to highway, next to major road, or have layout issues, tends to stay on the market longer. So any time whether the market is good or bad, the good houses always have big demand in Silicon Valley. So that is the summary for June's real estate market. So overall, housing in Silicon Valley is still holding pretty well. In terms of what's going to be in the next few months, I think a few things to watch is how the virus number increase could have impact. If there is a second wave, and that could have changed what's the forecast at this moment. And on the other hand, we want to see if economic employment data, if it's still improving, and if stock market is still holding well. This could all have an impact on the real estate market. But overall, as of the data you see right now, housing market could be a bright spot after crisis. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know or schedule a one-on-one consultation with me. I again put my contact information here in this last slide.